He didn't get caught because he lacked skill. He didn't get caught because the system failed. He got caught because, for one moment, he stopped pretending he was someone else. In File 01, we saw how anonymity collapses through patterns. This file shows something even simpler. How one familiar detail can undo millions of dollars, years of planning, and complete control. This wasn't a beginner. He understood systems. He understood money flows. He understood how to stay quiet. Over time, millions moved through accounts that didn't lead back to a person, only to code, aliases, and intermediaries. To the outside world, the operation looked clean, almost professional. It was a ghost network, designed to move value without leaving a trace of who was behind it. Each layer of the operation was carefully constructed to obscure the next, creating a financial labyrinth that seemed impossible to navigate. The digital fingerprints were all there, but they pointed to phantoms, to servers that disappeared, to identities that never existed in the first place. He had mastered the art of digital misdirection. What protected him wasn't just secrecy, it was normality. The transactions didn't spike suddenly. Nothing screamed crime. Everything blended into the existing noise of the global financial system. Think about it. Billions of transactions happen every day. A few million, spread out, timed correctly, and routed through legitimate-looking channels, just becomes part of the background static. That's how most large digital crimes survive. Not by hiding completely, but by looking so ordinary that no one has a reason to look closer. He was a master of financial camouflage, making illicit gains look like everyday business. His operation was a quiet hum, not a loud alarm. And then something changed, not in the system, in his behavior. At some point, the operation stopped feeling risky. It felt routine, like clockwork. Money in, money out. The danger faded into the background, replaced by a sense of professional accomplishment. That's when he made the mistake, the one fatal error that would unravel everything. He interacted with a part of the system using something familiar, something personal, something real, an email he had used before. It was a brief, seemingly harmless action, a quick login, a forgotten password reset, a simple notification setup, a single key press that connected his hidden world to his real one. In that moment of comfort, the wall he had so carefully built between his two lives developed a crack. On its own, the email meant nothing. It was just a string of characters in a sea of data. But systems remember. Logs don't forget. Patterns don't reset. Old data doesn't just disappear. It gets archived, indexed, and stored away, waiting for a query. Once that one real email address entered the chain, it connected everything behind it, quietly, permanently. It was like a drop of dye in clear water. At first, it's just a single point of color, but slowly it spreads, tinting everything it touches until the entire container is changed. That one email became the anchor point, linking the phantom identity to a flesh and blood person. Investigators didn't need a sudden breakthrough. They just needed patience. The email linked to prior accounts from years ago. It connected to historical logins on completely unrelated services. It was tied to metadata timestamps that aligned perfectly with the criminal activity. Each piece confirmed the last. The web of aliases, once impenetrable, now had a single thread that led directly to him. The operation didn't collapse instantly. It simply became traceable. And once something is traceable, it's only a matter of time. The investigators followed that digital thread back through time, across different platforms and forgotten websites, until the mask was completely gone. The most damaging part wasn't losing the money. It was losing separation. The entire operation was built on a single principle. The person and the crime must never meet. Once the alias and the real identity touched even for a split second, everything unraveled. Years of meticulous effort, of constant vigilance, erased by one moment of convenience. He had spent so long being someone else that he forgot the most important rule. Never let your true self into the room. The money was just a symptom of the crime. The real failure was a collapse of discipline, a breach in his own protocol. This case proves something uncomfortable. The more successful someone becomes, the more likely they are to relax. The risk starts to feel managed. The process becomes routine. And anonymity doesn't forgive relaxation. It doesn't care about your past successes or your future plan. It only waits for that one moment of comfort, that one slip-up, that one instance where you forget you're supposed to be invisible. In the next file, we'll examine a case where age didn't matter, because the mistake wasn't a lack of experience. It was believing no one was watching. Episode 3: The Teenager Who Hacked a Government.